What's our intro?
It should be in here. What is our intro?
Hi.
Oh!
How's it going? We're back. Thanks for clicking on our faces. If you joined us here yesterday, we were talking about the newest episode of Loki, but that was yesterday. And here we are today talking about the newest episode and season of Invincible. So, guys, at long last, the new episode has come out. And honestly, for whatever reason, I thought that Amazon Prime did like the whole full season release, but apparently they're just doing an episodic thing now. Mm-hmm. Was that how it always was, or is this something new?
Well, you know, everybody's a television station now.
You know what I think? I think by the time when we caught Invincible, when we started to review it all the moons ago, it was already finished, so it was already right there for us. Now I don't know for sure. Maybe someone in the chat could mention it to us, but yeah, I just think it was just because it was already right there for us.
Facts.
You're right. I think we did kind of get on it kind of late and like binged all of it. Hey again, thanks for watching. The show jumping into the multiverse.
Damn it, Dan.
Facts. No, that's it. Facts. Of course. That's
if I could
now.
Yeah, I was going to just sit here and say that's kind of the thing now because Marvel's been doing it. DC has touched a little bit on it. I'm not familiar with the Invincible comic, but I'm pretty sure they did this in the comics all them years ago too. Because I mean, with this guy, I forget his name, right? But he's able to open all these portals and stuff, which I think is he seems so OP, right? You could just open up these. Matter of fact, you know, one of my favorite things, and I'll give the floor back to you, C, is that, you know, a lot of times when I watch these Invincible and stuff, you could tell like they're based off other characters and stuff like that. I saw some off Twitter, and they said this guy's pretty much. They said he's Kang the Conqueror. They called him Kang the Conqueror on Twitter. I saw that.
Oh, because he has multiple versions of himself that can mess up the timeline or go between. Okay, I can kind of see it. So he's a pacifist.
Yeah, he's a more pacifist version of Kang the Conqueror.
Okay. Yeah, like the last one. Yeah.
But apparently, Dan answered our question in the chat. So apparently, they in the first season they released the first 3 episodes. All at once.
I mean, you know what though? It's the best way to fight piracy. It really is.
I think things are just so different.
No. The thing is just that it's the best because if they just for example, if they just release the whole season, then you're pretty much just waiting for everybody to watch it, right? But then if they do it episodically, because I notice that everybody's doing that now, then the topic stays there and it drags out. It's not like, oh, did you see this episode or that episode? And everybody stays in the same place. I think it's smart business. And then also like you can't download it, you can't, you know what I mean, and watch it on time, or you got to wait till later type of thing. Like I think it's smart. I think it's smart of them, especially for all of the subscription people. Yeah, you know, for those of us that don't subscribe to anything and then are forced to, it's smart business. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's I think that's the future of this. Everybody's becoming a TV show. This is like Channel 11. You got to run home to see it and all of that. Full House back in the day. Family.
You know, though I do appreciate a good binge. I do see the logic behind, you know, episodic releases. It definitely, there's something about the wait that builds up the anticipation each week. So it definitely does make more sense from a business standpoint. But as a consumer, I wish that they released it all so I can just binge it.
Of course. But I mean, at the same time, look, it's good for us. It gives us more to talk about.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
That's true. Yep.
But yeah, this episode I was a little confused at the opening. We
Me
saw
too.
that
Okay, same.
yeah, Mark
Wow, me
and
too.
Omni-Man, Nolan were in cahoots in the beginning. Like they were taking over the earth. The Viltrumites take over. But and we also got to see like a shaved head Adam Eve, where she was like, part of the rebellion. And
looking like
and
Shanae
Mark was
O'Connor.
still obsessed with her. He was like, "Oh, I won't kill you, but I'll paralyze you for life."
Which just seems like still that sucks. I mean, both things suck. Like I could kill you, but then I'm paralyzing you. I did want to touch a little bit on this, right? So in the beginning, I said, "Oh, maybe this is Mark's dream of what could have happened." I didn't even think about the possibility of this being and I think we all knew like there was going to be something with timelines because we've been talking about the possibility of Spider-Man being involved because in the comics he's in there. There's a crossover, all that stuff, right? But I didn't even think, oh, this is a multiple. Yeah, in the comics, Spider-Man shows up, but now we don't know anything. Let's just, but when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is a dream. And then when I saw this was another timeline, I was now my only takeaway from this, and I kind of think so for me. So like you mentioned, Eve had a different look. I would have loved it in this different universe that these guys had a different look, but I think that's why they had the same. I feel like they had the same costume just to make you think like, oh, maybe this is a dream, or maybe just to throw you off a little bit. But I would have loved in this alternate universe because it's an alternate universe. I like that this is other universe where these guys took over the world. I would have preferred a different look, but that's just a nitpick on my end.
I can see that.
I think this is gonna make Comic-Con even bigger. Because people not just Invincible, just like the whole multiverse situation. Because now it's not going to be just 5 people with the same costume. Now it's going to be like 50 different versions of Spider-Man and everybody, you know what I mean? And then they all do a multiverse photo and all of that. Like there's groups now of people doing the Spider-Verse and like 50 different Spider-Men that go in Union Square and have all of this thing. So I think it's just good business for everything. And this thing right here is going into it too. And now, like, yo, did you see the tag team? Like that was insane.
The Genius Brothers. I'm glad they were back. I think they're very interesting characters.
The Maulers.
The fact that they were, back in the prison and they're still arguing about who's the clone. And the fact that they're just so goddamn smart that everyone wants their help. Like they're very interesting characters. I love when they're on screen.
Do you know who they're based off of though, right? Do you see who they're based off of? Well, I'm going to throw a floor to you guys. Who do you think they're based off of?
I need a clue. Is it a real people or
real? I would say Marvel. Who do you think they're based off of?
Oh, okay.
It's based off someone from Marvel.
In the comics or the movies?
Comics.
Oh, golly.
You don't think the Hulk when you see them?
Well, yeah, of course. But other than that, who else?
Yeah, they're the Hulk. I feel like later on, I don't want to jump too far.
Yeah, the Hulk is mad smart. I forgot about that. Yeah,
the Hulk is mad smart. It's pretty much the Hulk is smart. So in the comics in like the 90s, they had a period where the Hulk he wasn't just savage and he's flipping cars over. He was called Dr. Banner. So I think it's pretty much they're trying to base these guys off of Hulk, but smart Hulk, like what we got in the MCU. Now we know he's talking and stuff. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So apparently, Dan's letting us know that Omni-Man will be a playable character in the Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, who's supposed to be in there? It's supposed to be him, and I don't want to jump too far ahead because I was watching the show, but it's based off The Boys. What's this guy's name? Homelander.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Okay.
Wow,
I'm here for that. But so we do see that it was actually just a version, this evil Mark or Mark who's more aligned with Omni-Man's vision of things is from a different dimension, because as he goes to kill, the freedom fighters, one of them slips away. And when we find out this guy is a pacifist and he has like these teleportation abilities, and the fact that he didn't even bother to teleport everyone else in the room. He literally just saved himself, knowing that everybody else in that room was bound for death. I don't know how I felt about that going forward, but he did use his powers to release the twins, the evil twins, and he propositioned them to say, hey, I need you two for something, and if you give me it, I'll give you whatever dimension you want, just one, as long as you don't kill anyone.
Right.
And he wanted to task them by gathering all the information from the League of Kangs he has in his cafeteria.
League of Kings.
But it's practically what they were.
Right.
The League of Kangs. Yeah, it's all different versions of him through different, multiverses who have different cures for different diseases, different solutions for different issues. But the thing is, only he has the power to jump dimensions, which I thought was interesting. There's only one dimension hopper throughout all of his variants. Yeah, I thought that.
Oh, you talking about that one who, when he was telling the plans to the Maulers, he stared at his other version or something like that? You talking about that guy?
Yeah, the dimension hopper, the guy.
You talking about him? His name was I had to look it up, Angstorm or something like that. Begin with an A. Yeah, Angstorm. If I spell it, hopefully you guys would be able to pronounce it better than I can. It was A-N-G Storm.
Yeah. He's King Prime according to Dan. Hilarious.
Yeah, he's basically, and he is King Prime. Yeah. Practically. Yeah.
But he's the only one out of the millions or trillions
he can do it, yeah,
that has that power.
Yeah.
So they agreed to do it. We do see Mark, and we come to find out that everyone outside of his immediate family and those in the know still don't realize that his father is Omni-Man. They know that his father,
Nolan,
to the outside world, his father just passed away, right? And we find out through his former bully that that's the case. Yes. And yeah, Mark is kind of lost. He looks like he's going through some sort of depression. He's not sure what his purpose is. He wants to be able to fight crime. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you gotta remember, this was something I watched this episode 3 times, right? Because I really thought this episode was really, really good. And this was a month after he got his ass whipped by his dad. It was a month after, and he's just flowing. And I really loved. I downloaded this song because I really thought it really grabbed the scene. I want to look it up real quick.
Karma Police?
It was there you go.
Girl. I've always loved.
All right, so you already knew. I wanted to look it up because when I heard it, I said, "Dad was." I watched the episode yesterday, and I just thought it was such a vibe, and I thought that it grabbed what Mark was feeling, like how you was mentioning he was just flying, not aimlessly, but just flying, like he was just doing things, like he was on autopilot, and he was doing all the things that you have to do as a hero, like. He was saving. He picked up an ambulance. There's a few things. Matter of fact, like I said, one of my favorite things is finding out what character is based off of somebody. There was a random guy dressed up in an elephant outfit, and I said, "That's Rhino. That's supposed to be a Rhino." The elephant dude. Yeah. I immediately said that's Rhino. But I did like how they were able to in this scene, just tell you how Mark was feeling. Because especially when it's been a month. For us, it's been 2 years, but for him, it's been a month. Matter of fact, him going to the mountain and he still saw his blood. Ugh.
Yeah, wow. Imagine. He's definitely dealing with some PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
100% sure. And we do get to see what's going on with our little B team. They're still
the Guardians, right?
Yeah.
Guardians
of the streets.
The Guardians of the streets.
They're really struggling. They're not like fighting as a unit really, and even the weird robot, who's definitely needs to be on some sort of list, is off his game.
No, that robot is very nasty.
Very nasty, very questionable. I still don't know how he's not in prison, but
you know what I like. It's funny too because he's a human now, but he's still a robot. I don't know how I feel, but I just feel emotional. I don't know how to explain this. I feel my heart pulse. What do I do?
He's Spock.
Yeah, no, he's Captain Kirk. That's how.
Oh no! I must move the table.
That's what he is. He's like a Star Wars. A Star Trek character.
Star Trek, yeah. And it was like I listened to it 3 times. I said, and at first it took me a minute to realize, like, right, he's making the transition from robot to human. Because to me, I'm saying, if I saw him in the show, I said, "What the hell's your problem, dog?"
The little goof thing.
I don't know how to say this to you, but yes,
weird. He's struggling. He's struggling with his humanity, but.
Yes.
Our guy notices that he's struggling too. The head guy.
Cecil.
Yes. He notices like, look,
you
he's
guys great.
Are effing up. You're a mess out here, right? We need to get you together. And he says it's apparently down to lack of leadership. So guess what? I got you all a head honcho. What's his name? Comes straight from the sky. Immortal. He's coming.
You know who he's based off of, right?
That's another Superman, no?
Shazam.
Ah, nice.
No.
Because
Superman's Ani Man, so yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he's coming to whip the boys into shape, but not alone.
Right.
They got another guy. They said you need some more muscle. So they brought in this other guy called Bulletproof. I don't know if he's supposed to be a play off of Luke Cage.
You know what? That's good. I didn't know that was so good. I didn't even
Luke Cage was bulletproof.
Yeah, good eye. Yeah, good eye.
Crazy.
And he's already, bumping heads with what's his name, Rex.
He wrecked. Not even to be funny, he really wrecked that dude because Rex he talks a lot of nonsense and all that stuff because he's an arrogant jerk, right? But this guy said, "Did you say that? Did you create that? Or is it some grade schooler say that?" I mean, the way that this guy systematically wrecked him, and even Rex said, I came up with that. Be better. And then Rex was like, I am trying to be better. I just thought that was really good.
Yeah, he didn't come in, being a pushover. He came in to say, hey, this is West Wet. So I'm really interested to see how that dynamic goes. Mark,
sure.
Because he does have this lack of purpose where he knows that he wants to help, but he doesn't really know how. He asks Cecil about being a superhero. So Cecil's like, look, no, you're not ready. But eventually he does kind of let him join our little Guardians of the Street and find some purpose.
Because they're a mess.
I mean, when he got no choice, you know what I mean? Clint Eastwood is sitting there,
That's exactly. You know what? When I think of him, Clint Eastwood is a superhero. Good job. Clint Eastwood could just spin over. No, Clint Eastwood is. Yes.
He's sitting there, and he's dealing with all this drama.
But I did want to touch a little bit about that. I'm sorry. I did want to touch a little bit on that scene that him and Cecil had where they were at Burger Mark. I love that. I thought that was hilarious because not Burger King because they don't want to get sued. But, they're having a conversation like how you mentioned, and he said, you're not ready. You just had this. You're dealing with a lot of trauma. So you just need to take some time off. And when Mark tells him and he says, like, you can't stop me. I could be a superhero. You can't stop me from being a superhero. He said, the last person. And I think that's the thing with Cecil. Like, he's not like a powerful individual, right? But he knows how to get into your mind because he says, like, the last person who told me that. And he said, I'm not my dad. And that's when he like bangs into the table. I just thought that was a really good scene and something to mention.
Yeah, he's definitely, Mark is struggling. He's struggling, and Cecil kind of knows how almost it seems like he's trying to direct him in the way to go. But yeah, so he was able to let him join the Guardians of the Street. And
the Guardians of the Street.
And one of his first missions were to locate the twins, our
the Maulers.
Yeah. And they're in the midst of combining the multiple League of Kangs brain into what's his name? Storms, right? Isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got it.
All into one. But when Mark gets there, for whatever reason, they start, y'all can kind of like, fill in, but they start whooping his ass. And I'm like, I thought Invincible would be better than this.
He really did get whooped, though. I'm not even going to hold you. You're not lying. I mean,
they had the numbers game, though. Like, they had a squad. And
the first two
Hulks.
And this is where I sit here and say, this is how you can tell this was the Hulk. Because when they brought out all these different ones, there was one in a suit. And that was supposed to be based off the Gray Hulk in the suit. I forget what his name is. And then there was a she version of him. She-Hulk. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, the numbers were crazy. I mean, when I saw Mark, I'm not even gonna. Episode 1, I said, "Damn, this is episode 1. He's already getting his ass whooped."
Yeah, like
I
who
mean,
else?
you know
Like,
what though?
what's another
No,
superhero?
but this episode,
Black
in my
Light.
opinion. But look, this
Stop
thing
it!
is
You
all
leave him
about-
alone. He has a family.
Yeah, but look, this thing is all about just bringing us back to where they was, because it was a long time. So I think they would bring just a lot of it is just revamping the whole thing. Like, I mean, another example is the kids they're going to college together. And they're all happy. They're still
together. Yeah, him and his girlfriend. They
all
got accepted into the same college.
Yeah, so they revamped that a little bit. There's probably be a little drama there. So that's a good thing in his life, even though he's going through all that drama. But the fight, he
definitely got his butt kicked.
It almost I remember when we reviewed Invincible, right? So I remember it being pretty gruesome, but I guess I kind of forgot. So when I'm watching this, I said, "All right, this is Invincible, right, dude? You're gonna see blood, and you're gonna be saying things." And I feel like one of the things we didn't even touch on, we talked about all the trauma that Mark was dealing with, but I thought we should touch on with the mother, because the mother was dealing with a lot too.
They brought that back too. Facts, that's true.
Yeah,
she's still dealing with the loss of her husband.
I don't think I could ever call my wife a pet. I'm sorry.
I
mean, if you want to live, you won't do that.
Right? No, but I can't see somebody like that. Like my wife talking.
Yeah, that's wild. Right?
She's a pet to me. Like, come on, bro. That's fucked up, bro. You put in.
No, it is.
How you know? Because I mean, listen, man. You spend enough time with people, you get a lot of intimacy. You put in 20 years, and you just treat them like, you know what I mean? Like they're just there. Like, come on, that's fucked up. And that's that. I felt bad for her. Like, Diablo, how could you say that? You know what I mean? Like, 20 years.
Wow, traumatizing. Right? She gave 20 years to that man and a child, and for nothing.
Right.
And I can just imagine it's only been a month since her world is completely different. So yeah, it's a lot to take on, I'm sure. But back to the fight. Angstorm, he sees the violence, and because he's a pacifist, he says I won't build my utopia on blood or something like that. So he attempts to remove the
helmet.
The helmet, yeah, that's the scientific helmet, right?
I know they were talking a lot of scientific terms. I just couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah. So as he's removing it, it causes the machine to explode and literally kills everyone except for Invincible. So he's living up to his namesake. I thought it was interesting that his clothes survived. If they really want to be accurate, the clothes would be blown to bits as well. But okay,
maybe the clothes are invincible too.
I guess they must be Viltrumites as well. But he survives. And Cecil and the street gang, they come. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is a great job."
Okay, can we stop making it sound like it's Invincible and Fat Albert and gang? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's hilarious.
She said the Guardians of the Streets. Like, what?
That is funny.
The Guardians of the Streets. Not the galaxy, they still trying
to. Just the streets, right? There we go.
She for the streets.
But yeah, they are patting themselves on the back. They're saying it's a job well done. Mark, of course, is upset at the loss of life, probably triggering from the fight that he had with his father with all those losses of life.
Well, you know what it was more of? It wasn't necessarily the fight with his father, but so one of the things I remember was he felt guilty for not saving the world. Amber said, "Oh, you saved the world," but he thought about all the people who died and him trying to stand up to his father. And obviously, he couldn't stand toe to toe with his father. His father's experience, Virtual and all those people dying in Chicago and stuff like that. And that was something he even said after this explosion. He was like, "A lot of people died, even though Maulers didn't deserve to die." So he felt guilty about a lot of people. He had guilt about people dying because he felt like he could have saved them and he didn't.
For sure. But they congratulated him.
Sure.
And it was a little while after this scene that we see him walking home. I want to say it's after the scene. And what's his name is there?
Immortal.
Yeah, Immortal is there. And he pretty much tells Mark which is a stupid move. I don't even know why you would tell someone this. Cecil thinks you're part of, you're legitimate, you're part of the gang, but I have my eyes on you, right? So he kind of thinks that he's, aligned with his father.
He don't trust him.
Still.
Yeah,
he doesn't trust him. And if that's the case, knowing how his daddy whipped your ass the first time, why would you even say anything? Like, if you're still not sure, you got to keep that, close to the chest. You don't reveal all your cards, because now, even if he was on the wrong side, he's going to know that you're suspicious of him, and you'll probably die first. So you got to keep that quiet.
I don't know. I don't think this guy can die. And you know why I said that?
Smoke.
You're gonna die.
Well, then he should. You know what? He should wait for 420.
We're facts, but I think he's waiting for a reason. To be honest with you,
I don't think this dude can even.
Why alert the enemy that you're on to them? That's the question.
Yeah, see,
the art
to start shit.
He got his ass kicked not only once by Nolan, but twice, because you gotta remember in the beginning, the first episode of Invincible, he took out the whole Guardians or whatever, right? But then they brought him back, and then he fought him again, and then he got his ass kicked again. So I'm just saying, I don't think this dude can. I think even if you beat this guy, he's gonna just come back anyway. I guess that's why he just don't care. I guess he's like, yeah, you'll kill me, but I'll be back in like 3 days or something like that.
But it took a while for him to come back. He doesn't come back instantly. They had to work to get him to come back last time.
True.
Remember?
They had to put him together.
That's true.
He's run out of lives. Like, what's his name from Shrek?
I don't think he
Puss in Boots.
I think he got more lives than Puss in Boots. DreamWorks will make you play Puss in Boots.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, he pretty much tells him that he's suspicious of him. And close to the end of the episode, at the very end of the episode, we get the scene where we're in the rubble of the remains of the explosion. And we see that at least one of our brothers have survived, our genius brothers. And he's, really damaged. Still, half of his body is, burnt and deformed.
Right.
And he's looking for his brother, and he sees this hulk of flesh, and he's calling out, thinking it's his brother. And it gets up, and it's like this weird deformed brain mass. And it's our guy, Hank Storm. He's no longer himself in human form. He's like part human, part mutant. He's got like this big brain attachment behind his head. And not only that, all of the memories of his multiple different selves have somehow combined in his big, massive brain, and he can't tell one from the other, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah, now he's all of them.
So
he's all those people in that room. That's wild.
In his brain, yeah, he's definitely. They should have. I wish they would have named him something like Split, or something to do with like what's that syndrome when people have multiple personalities?
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, they could have done a play off of that for his villain name.
The schizo.
His
schizo. That's crazy.
Yes.
His
Dr.
brain.
Dr. Schizo.
His brain. It reminded me of Freakazoid. There was a guy called the Lobe or something like that, and the way his brain was just going around and stuff. It was very creepy stuff here.
Yeah.
Then he threw up blood and stuff. I said, Jesus.
I mean, I wish that they wouldn't have rushed that. I wish that you probably would have gotten to know some of his other versions prior to the mix, because it was just like, oh look, this is all other versions of me, and now they're all in his head. So like, if there's other personalities, you can't really spot it. It's just gonna be a weird guy. So I mean, we'll see what they do.
Yeah,
but, it was interesting because now he's 50 people.
I do wish they did we got to spend a little bit more time with the character, so we can kind of get a feel for him a little more, and that way when we do see his demise or his descent into madness, it had a little bit more impact. But maybe they have other plans for the season. But yeah, so he and all of his different memories have come to the conclusion that this mark is the mark from the beginning of the episode in that other dimension where he was, full-blooded, mean guy.
Killer, yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much episode 1 of season 2. What did you guys think of it overall?
I'm hyped. I'm good to go. I'm ready for episode 2.
Okay.
I seen this episode 3 times. I was really pumped about it and excited about it. I watched it last night in 2 times, one going to work and making my way back home. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see. And what's going to be interesting is with this guy having the ability to go to different portals and worlds and stuff. It's going to be interesting to see and I can understand how some people might be tired of it because we got all that going on in Marvel and DC and stuff like that. Like we literally we did a show yesterday about time traveling and we were all confused. But I am interested in seeing what this universe would be about with multiple universes.
For me, yeah, I am kind of wary of the multiverse time jump things. I honestly cannot wait until we get away from that. But I do enjoy Invincible, so I'll stick around, of course, and see what they do with it. And watching with all of you guys watching with us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave us a like if you like the video. And join us next Thursday, for episode 6 of Loki. And next Friday for episode 2 of Invincible. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.